Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Let's see if anyone shows up. Just fiddling with my sound a little bit here, get my levels. All right. Okay. Sunday evening. This is a bit strange. I don't usually do this on a Sunday evening, but I had a bit of a fun day. My neighbor, a few weeks back, my immediate neighbor actually just is getting on in years, shall we say. And I noticed one day, a couple months ago, that she had put some LPs out, some vinyl out on the sidewalk. You know, that's a thing here in Toronto. You just kind of strange. And I've lived in I don't know how many places, a dozen places in my life, but in Toronto, everyone just kind of puts their shit out on out on the sidewalk basically, and people come along and pick it up. It's just this tradition. I don't know, does anyone else have that where they live? I just find that really bizarre. Anyway, so I'm walking by her house, a couple months ago. There's all this vinyl, and then I thought, oh man, is she like, has she got more? Is she going to be, dropping some dropping some really great stuff on her neighbors? And anyway, so I caught her the next week, and I said, hey, listen, I'm into vinyl collecting, and you'd be really surprised what vinyl goes for these days. You should, don't throw stuff out. Don't, you know, whatever you do, don't throw it out. Let's book a time. I can come over and have a look through your stuff and tell you what this stuff is worth, right? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, here's my number, blah blah blah. And this is like 6 months ago. And yeah, so anyway, she knocks on the door the other day. It's like, hey, come on over on Sunday. So fast forward to whatever 5 hours ago, and I go over and check out her collection. And she's got stuff in the basement. She's got stuff up in the room. She's got stuff on the second floor. They got stuff all over the place. But it's not stuff that I normally buy. Right? I usually buy rock, pop, and mostly jazz. But she's got a lot of folk, a lot of what else? Classical, a lot of stuff that a lot of kind of national, is that what you call it? Kind of national folk music. Anyway, I've got some stuff here that I thought I'd show. I'm kind of going through and kind of again like trying to help her figure out what's worthwhile, and maybe a couple things that I wouldn't mind buying off of her as well. So why don't we go through some stuff, and then there's also just a lot of weird stuff, right? A lot of really weird stuff. Like before I was coming online, I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. Anyway, this is probably like a $2 album. I don't know. I'll check it after the stream. But a lot of stuff. But anyway, it's just fun going through other people's collection and kind of seeing the crazy kind of art, covers, and seeing what they collect. Anyway, so like I said, a lot of symphonic stuff, a lot of classical stuff, and going through, it's just not my bag, right? But I'm slowly going through it. But this was kind of interesting. I found, I'm not sure even why I picked this one out, because I probably brought home maybe, I don't know, maybe 20% of what she had. So I have no idea why this made it into the box that I brought home, but I thought it was really interesting because this is a 1959 stereo LP. It's a Brahms Hungarian Dances, numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 17, 19, and 21 on Yorkshire Records. Right? Nothing too earth-shattering here. But then yeah, I don't know if you can see that, folks, but yeah, right down at the bottom, it was mastered by none other than Rudy Van Gelder. Oh, there you go. You can see it. That's cool, huh? So, and the other thing is, yeah, this is a 1959 album, and it is just pristine. Look at that. Um, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's interesting. So they just had a lot of original LPs. Again, not a lot of stuff that I'm necessarily interested in, but I will be playing this Van Gelder Hungarian Dances LP. Just I don't know, just for shits and giggles later. Well, not later tonight, maybe sometime over the next few days. I'm gonna try that. So Van Gelder. So there's the Van Gelder fine. Quite a few Joan Baez. Yeah, not so much interested in Joan Baez. Gordon Lightfoot, just he's like an icon in Canada. Not a super expensive record. I think this one's probably you could probably get this for $10 or $15. It's got the hype sticker on it. Check that out. I'm gonna say this is a 73. No, 70. There we go. He looks so young there. Holy smokes. Gordon Lightfoot is one of Canada's preeminent folk artists. Really a kind of a national icon. Sorry, that doesn't look so great, does it? There we go. And so that's an original Canadian version. Again, not super valuable, but it's just in beautiful condition. 1970. Again, look at that. A beautiful cover. Anyway, folks, there's like 2 or 3 people popping in and out. Feel free to say hi. So yeah, I might go back and say I'll keep that one. Again, I'm not a big folk guy. Not a big folk guy at all, but again, Gordon Lightfoot is such an icon and so yeah, so I may tell my neighbor I'll take that from her. Phil Oakes, look at that. That is such a beautiful. Hang on, let me move this over so you can have a better look at that. Isn't that a great cover? I ain't marching anymore. Hey, DJ Trish. Look at that cover. Fabulous. Okay. That's on Elektra Records. I'm going to see if we can see that. There you go. What year is that one? Great folk protest music, right? Let's have a look and see what's going on. Oh, this is the one. Yeah. Let me show this. Look at that great Elektra sticker. It's hard to tell, but you'll see when I show you the labels. It is so awesome. Hey, Chris. Thanks. Yeah. But look at again, for me, a lot of it was look at that. Isn't that cool? Beautiful. It's like a person sitting there strumming a guitar. What year is that, folks? I'm going to say that is very early 70s. Again, it's not my bag. Phil Oakes, a great protest singer. But I just thought that was such beautiful labels. So what's that worth? I think that's in Canadian dollars, it's a $15, $20 LP, I'm going to say. That's an American copy. That's not a Canadian one. But yeah. Very well done art for that one. What else do I have here? This one just kind of caught my eye. I don't get into a lot of this kind of funky, what would you call that, audiophile test records, but this one is from Shure, and just the cover just caught my eye. Again, not worth a lot of money. Maybe if it's worth $5, I'd be surprised. 1973. I don't know if people, I've got 2 or 3 LPs that I use to test out my system. Sure, of course, makes microphones amongst other things. Anyway, so I don't think I've ever really tried out a test record. Is that what they call them? I don't know. Does anyone else know? Let me know. Drop me a comment. Tell me what these are called. Trackability test record for stereo cartridges. Voila. There we go. Anyway, that I just thought that was really kind of cool. So yeah, that's like a three $5 record. Okay, let's keep. Whoops, sorry everyone. Let's keep on going. There's some good stuff here. I'm getting to it. All right, thanks, DJ Trish. All right, you're sticking with me. This one again, like $10, $15 album, but I just loved the art on that. The Hoot Nanny Show. Volume 1, no less. The mono version on Waverly. Scottish. This is a Scottish label. Look at that. Great pictures, too. Look at those heroes. Isn't that fabulous? Yeah, it's the Corey Folk Trio. It's a mono recording. And I'm going to say that is the cover is just in such great shape. Let's pull it out and have a look at the labels. Again, yeah, Waverly. I'm gonna have to Google that and check out whether or not these guys are still in business. Made in Edinburgh. Like, who out there has an LP that says Made in Edinburgh on it? 1964, folks. That's where that one's from. When that one's from. Anyway, again, that just kind of caught my eye. I'll probably drop it back off with my neighbor. I don't think I'm gonna make an offer for her on that, but a lot of fun. What else we got here? Oh, another Phil Oakes. Did I show another Phil Oakes before? Yeah, I'm just writing some notes to me about how much it is. That's a cool cover, isn't it? A little bit of ring wear on that one. Tape from California. There he is, sitting on his mom's deck or something, waving away. Tape from California. It's got Joe Hill is on this one. That's a classic. A kind of trade union song, right? That's on A&M. Phil Oakes. Am I going to take that one? Again, I'm not a huge folk fan. Paul Simon. No, we'll skip that one. Again, whatever. Oh, here we go. This one, again, just you're looking at 200 albums and then you're thinking, what exactly is going on here? I guess my neighbor might have some family from Scotland, hence the Highland Voyage. Let's look at the back of that. Sail aboard a puffer. I like that's like a $20 album. Scottish records. I'm gonna pull it out because you got to see that. You got to see it. Okay, let's have a look. I have no idea what kind of music this is. I suspect it's also some kind of folk. But look at the labels. Isn't that fabulous? I just love that. Scottish records. Kind of looks like a pineapple or something in there. Highland Voyage around the puffer. Anyway, who knows what's going on there? Does anyone have any idea what's going on there? I sure as hell don't, but it looks like it hasn't been played. Is that a good sign? Probably not. The puffers are the little cargo boats. Yeah. So again, it's kind of it's kind of folk music, right? From Scotland, obviously. I don't know if you could really see on the camera, but it's a really beautiful, deep blue, almost purple. Yeah. Trish's comment here. Yeah, they're in really, really great shape. Okay, what else do I got? Oh, and then I got the stuff that I immediately took out and put into sleeves. So these, I think there's 3 Dylan. I don't own any Dylan, not a single one. Um, but these are all, I think all of them are original, and I think 2 out of the 3 are monos, you know. So many of these were, this is popular music to an extent. 60s popular music. But yeah, I think that one's worth about $40. It's in great shape. It's in really great shape. So I played that one earlier today, bringing it all back home. So what's on that one? If you don't know it, actually, that one is a stereo. Let me just put my finger over the name there because my neighbors put their little sticker. Maggie's Farm is on that one. Mr. Tambourine Man, of course. All right. And what do we got here? Okay, there's his first LP. And that one, I'm going to say that one actually it's like a 1970s Canadian version. So that's the only one that wasn't an original Canadian, at least. So I haven't played that one, so that'll be interesting to see what's going on. So what's Chris saying? Albert Grossman's wife is on the cover. Yeah, Chris, I'm just not I'm not a Dylan guy, but I am gonna go back to my neighbor and say, like, hey man, I'll take these. Let me give you some money. Let me give you some money. Okay. I feel like these are all gonna slide off on me. Whoa. Okay, and then the last one is Dylan's Highway 61 Revisited. And that one is also a Canadian original. It's a mono. And that's one that I also listened to earlier this evening, like a Rolling Stone. Yeah, so very early Dylan stuff. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun going through someone else's collection, right? And I'm going to say 80-90% of what she had was stuff from 60s and 70s, a lot of original stuff. And what else did I got? Let me see what else I can pull up, because I've got a lot. I haven't gotten through all of it. Again, it's a lot of it's new to me, so I'm just doing this as a favor for my neighbor. And unfortunately, a lot of it is probably not of much value. I just kind of pull her aside and be like, "Oh, do you have any jazz?" Or because I'm just thinking, if she would have collected jazz like she collected folk, been like, "Whoa!" All right, hang on one second. Let me put this down and see what else I got. Joan Baez, huh? A few Joan Baez, a couple more Phil Oakes. He hasn't quite come back around, but I do love the photography on these covers. Really everyday, like almost street photography. This one kind of stuck out, of course. I don't know if people know this story. South of the border, Buffy St. Marie kind of was found out to be, it's a terrible word, to be a quote unquote pretendian. It's a terrible word, Unfortunately, she's not of indigenous background, ancestry, even though she presented as such over many years. It's a bit of a sad story. Absolutely a sad story. That's a lovely picture of Joan Baez there, isn't it? How about that for a gatefold? Wonder where that's taken. Yeah, she was fake, huh, Chris? That's just sad all around, I think. if you ask me. Okay, what is Joan Baez saying to us? Your spirit is strong here on Struggle Mountain. It seems that keeping us apart is much. It's a little hard to read this. Much trickier than Uncle Sam was counted on. Anyway, maybe that's some kind of remark on the Vietnam War. Anyway, beautiful picture of her there. This is kind of, I thought about maybe asking my neighbor if I could, buy it off of her. This is a very, very much of a local kind of an LP. Mariposa is the folk festival that's just outside of Toronto, just north. I'm not sure if it's still going. It used to be an annual folk festival. Folk festivals were very popular. I'm going to say definitely in the 70s and 80s. In fact, when I was younger in university, I used to go to folk festivals quite a bit, particularly when I lived out in Vancouver. But this is the one, as I said, just outside of Toronto called Mariposa. And this is from 1975. Let me see if I can bring that in a little bit. You can, I don't know. Does anyone recognize any faces there? Yeah, Joan Baez is great, isn't she? Trish. Absolutely. Does anyone recognize any face there? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Let me turn it around. It's a great cover, isn't it? And oh wow, it's a gatefold. So obviously they take a lot of photos here at the Mariposa Festival. Who's on this? It's funny. It's like all it is pictures of people at the folk festival, and there's there's absolutely no text at all on this, right? All there is this is the only text on the whole cover, inside and out. It's just photos, which is kind of cool, you know. But here, let me pull out a copy, and there was an insert as well. I recognize a couple of the names. That's a little hard to see. So who was at the festival in 75? Again, folk festival. I'm not recognizing too many names here. Rita McNeil. Do people know Rita McNeil? She's from Halifax, I believe, or at least from Eastern Canada, from the Maritimes. And then I'm just crashing and banging here. And then there's this kind of interesting, I guess if people are interested in like the history of folk festivals in Canada, this would be pretty awesome. And here's an insert. So I guess that's why they didn't have any text on the outside. They put it all down here. 1970s, huh? Let's just go through. I'm just trying to see if there's any names. I honestly don't recognize. Grant Rogers, Stan Rogers. Was he American? Stan Rogers? Well, honestly, out of the long list of people here, those are the two. Chris, do you know any of those folks? No, honestly. So it must be really kind of deep Canadian folk, so to speak. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's a bit of a collector's item, and it's not really my thing, but again, it was fun to find. What else have I got? That's a no. There's another Joan Baez. I think that's a 73, isn't it? Yeah. 73, 70 or 73. And now that's a Canadian version. I'd never heard of this label, Phonodisc, but you can see it's on King Street, which is right downtown in Toronto. So there was a few of those kind of Vanguard label LPs in the collection, in my neighbor's collection, which I thought was really quite interesting. I guess they were big Ooh, trying to pull that out. So this one I think is a reissue. Anyway, oh yeah, this is the one that didn't want to fit in. Anyhow, not maybe I'll probably give a listen to a couple of these. Joan Baez has a beautiful voice, doesn't she? She's still around. Hey, how's it going? Let me know if you want to come up. Just talking about my neighbor who was trying to get rid of her collection, and I went over and grabbed a bunch of stuff from her, and I'm kind of going through and telling her what's what. A lot of folk though, right? Um, okay, let's see what else I got here to show you. I showed most of the good stuff earlier. I think it's really the three Dylan albums are the best, right? You know, when do you see like original Dylan albums? Okay, what else? What else do we have here? Oh, even more Joan Baez. Wow. Okay, again, not necessarily my thing. Another Baez double album. This was kind of interesting. Again, another like iconic LP from Gordon Lightfoot. This is from '67. This one, I just love looking at the covers, the early stuff. And this one was manufactured in Quebec, in Lachine, Quebec. Can you see that? Yeah. What's that? The Compo Company, Lachine, Quebec. I don't think I've ever seen any. So that's on a United Artists, right? Interesting. I'll probably play that. That's worth playing, right? It's Gordon Lightfoot. It's very early though. I think he really became a kind of a folk icon in the '70s. So that'd be interesting to see. Looks so young there. You know, I see him as, this fellow with a big beard and everything. Sorry, let me catch up a little bit here. Romu, what are you saying? Great folk level. Vanguard. Okay, yeah, there's a ton of Vanguard. I'm not familiar with folk stuff at all. Yeah, if you see anything that you want, I don't know if you're into folk, let me know, because if not, I'm just sending this stuff back to my neighbor, Again, this some interesting kind of English or British folk music. It's a beautiful cover though. The art on this, again, I think I looked and it's probably worth like $5, but it's absolutely stunning. And I don't know if you can see, it's this matte finish. I might do a little bit more. It's on Folkways record. A little bit more research on that one, just because it's too beautiful to be only worth like $5. Isn't it? It's a piece of art, man. Come on. It's a piece of art. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. So it's British traditional ballads in the Southern Mountains. Like there are no Southern mountains in Britain and the UK, right? That just makes no sense. It's a bit psychedelic too, isn't it? Don't you think? So anyway, that's 1961. Let's have a look at some of the tracks. So the more I look at this is helping me actually. The more I look at this, the more I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I should check this out. Maybe I should play it and not send it back to my neighbor. Holy smokes! Look at that insert, folks. What is going on there? Oh man, this is real archaeology. Look, this is really media archaeology. I feel like I'm in church or something, Isn't it like being in church? Bizarre. Yeah, child ballads in America. Anyway, fascinating. Now I'm kind of wondering if this is actually no. It does say Folkaway Records, 1961. Half of me was starting to think, maybe this was just slotted in here. Look, feel free to drop a note saying I'm spending way too much time on this one. Folkaway Records. That's kind of cool, though, isn't it? British traditional ballads. I don't know. Just the cover is way too cool. Again, put it away, Greg. Hurry up. Okay, it's going. It's going, folks. All right, what else we got? I just love the art. I just love the art on it. So, Satan. Good stuff. It's always great when Satan shows up. Okay, we went through. I am here. I have arrived. Where are the Dylan albums that you've been bragging about? What else what the fuck is this? So this one I looked up and it's a comedy album. Like this, it was strange. This is the only. All the other albums were just pristine, like 50s and 60s albums that were, and none of them had, LP condoms on them, right? They were all pristine. This is the only one that's falling apart. Shelley Bertman. Yeah, let's skip that now. But that's on Verve. Let's see who mastered that. Anyway, but it said it was comedy. Oh yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? I just love that. What's that say? Celebrity service? Celebrity. What does that say? I can't fucking read that. Sorry, celebrity series. Long play. Anyway, just looking to see. Nah, there's nothing interesting on the Dead Wax. All right. Yeah, if anyone wants to come up and chat, let me know. But I'm kind of doing a little bit of a monologue tonight, which is not my normal thing. Here's another cover that I just thought was beautiful. String band. It's not very interesting. I listened to it. I streamed it. Looks to be like a 70s folk trio from Toronto, I'm going to say, from 1975. This is so great, though. This is Canadiana. Look at these heroes here, with their skates on. Here, let me move that in. They're just look at that stash, man. Wow, holy smokes. But I think what's even more awesome is, yeah, there we go. God Save the King, which is kind of a strange thing to say in March of 1975, right? So, hey, Chris, is that the Incredible String Band? Is it the Incredible String Band? I don't know. It looks pretty incredible. Maybe the Incredulous String Band. I'm going to call it the Incredulous String Band. 1975. But please, someone explain to me why. More importantly, why they're saying God Save the King in 1975. Someone needs to explain that to me. I'm going to continue this stream until someone explains to me why the string band have God Save the King on their album cover in 1975. That's just weird. It's a mystery. It's incredulous. Oh wow, the inner sleeve is hilarious. Holy shit! I'm so glad I opened this up. I'm hoping people can see this. Check out this one, male chauvinist jig. Isn't that awesome? Okay, what else do we have here? Um, okay, let me move that over. Sorry, I can't see the comments, so I'm just gonna. Thank you. Yeah, Ways of the Heart. So there's some that are in French. There's a Scottish song. There's Les Prisonniers de Londres. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of mix of English and French tunes. But I have to say that the male chauvinist jig has to be my favorite. I might have to record. I'll record that. What do you think? Maybe I'll use that as like the opening to my show or something. Show. I don't have a show. Oh well. Anyway, also, not only was there God Save the King on the cover, but it's also there right on the vinyl, right on the labels rather. So what is that all about? What does that mean? I have no idea. Okay, again, I'm like totally obsessing. It's OCD hour. Okay, let's put that away. But if anyone has any insight as to why that is, please let me know in the comments below. What else? Yeah, a little bit more Canadiana. Bit of a theme tonight. The Canadiana stream. How about that for some bad color? Some bad design. Like, who okayed that? Do you think that went by a committee at the end? That's god awful. 1974. This actually was worth a little bit more than I thought. I have no idea what it is. Some kind of weird ass brass band. There was a couple of them, so that one must be a live one. But it is god awful. But it looks like, I don't know if those are the colors for the label. And it doesn't say God Save the King on it, but it is from 1974. Okay. What else? People want to see the Dylan stuff again? Oh, man. Okay. What else do I have here? No, that's not interesting. That's a cool cover, isn't it? Magnificent Arches. I'm going to say that's it. I think there's some more stuff downstairs. There was a Joni Mitchell. I left it on the turntable, and it's like a 1975 LP, and it just sounds horrible. I hated it. But yeah, if you came in late, these were the finds. These are some 60s versions, a couple original versions, Canadian versions of Dylan. Highway 61 Revisited. Bringing it all back home. And yeah, pretty obscure stuff, Chris. And Dylan's original, his first LP. So there we go. You heard it here first. I'm going to say goodnight. And I might go through something. There's some classical stuff here. I don't know if do you think it's worth going through? I'm not going to show it, but I'm just wondering if I should just drop everything off for Garfunkel. Yeah, so a lot of obscure stuff. So a lot of folk, a lot of classical, a lot of kind of regional folk. So a lot of stuff that's not worth a lot. So I'm it's a bit strange. Now I'm gonna have to go back to my neighbor and kind of say that a lot of the LPs aren't actually worth a lot. And I'm gonna feel a little bad, right? Because I was telling her, don't throw away your LPs. And now 6 months later, I'm gonna have to show up and be like, boy, you should throw away like 95% of your LPs. They're not worth much at all. But you shouldn't. What do you do with them, right? You don't want to throw them out. It's probably toxic, right? This stuff. So drop it on the local donation center, something like that. Okay, folks, I think I'm gonna call it an end to the evening. Thanks for dropping by. And what have I got coming up? Not a lot. I was gonna do a video down um down in I'll get it. Yeah, thanks. If you have questions, let me know and I'll jump in. Um but here, let me keep that one up so that way I'll remember. There's a really good jazz record store in Toronto called Cosmos, but their prices are really quite high. And I think it's a tourist shop. And I've talked about a little bit about it on some of my streams, but I thought it would be interesting to maybe have a show or a stream dedicated to that shop because of what's going on around the world, right? What's going on in North America, what's going on south of the border in the United States, and how that's impacting tourism, right? So it's interesting because not only are Canadians starting not to travel south of the border, and I'm not going to get into politics and everything necessarily, but also some of the early numbers are suggesting that a lot of Americans are not coming north to Toronto and to Vancouver and Montreal and other places here in Canada. So yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to impact this record store called Cosmos here in Toronto, because obviously they're really catering to folks who have American dollars, right? It just doesn't make sense, the kind of prices that they're asking for. Anyway, so that's a quick aside. DJ Trish is asking, do you keep in touch with Rachel and Sue? Yes, of course I do. Yeah, I'm those of you who don't know, I'm making a documentary about Rachel's old show. What was it called? Oh my god, Rachel's Ghost. Yeah. And so I was there back in October with my crew, did 2.5, 3 days shoot. And so yeah, it's really important for me to keep in touch with them, to see what's going on in their lives, because I haven't finished the film. I haven't necessarily signed off on, the conclusion to the film. And yeah, so I probably reach out to them every couple weeks, sometimes more, just to ask various questions, check in about different things, and well, probably I'm going to say probably in, I don't know, anywhere between 4 and the next 8 weeks we'll have a rough cut, and then I'm going to invite some folks to watch a very rough version of the film, and to get some feedback from folks. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with me. I've been writing some grants. Those of you who, make sure to subscribe, right? Because I drop a lot of podcasts here on this channel as well. I started the channel just mostly touring, when I was touring around, as a way to kind of, as a way to keep myself busy, as a way of kind of connecting with people back home, and also as a way of kind of sharing some of my travels and checking out different record stores and cities, principally over in Europe. But I haven't been traveling very much over the last year. So yeah, I've been really turning a lot of my time over to the film. And so yeah, let me know if you have any other questions about that. I've just handed in actually 2 last week I submitted 2 grants for the film, so if either one of those come in, then I won't have any problems, at all. Thanks, Trish. Um, I won't have, any problems at all with the budget, so that's just a wait and see, game, but, very excited. Yeah, a lot well, what's interesting is that a lot of people, um, have very strong opinions, of course, about, Rachel's old show and strong opinions about the people who come on the show, and I've always found that to be really fascinating and captivating. So I'm hoping that I've been able to capture some of the dynamics and of the show and the reasons why people found it so compelling, or people were uh, deeply offended by it, or loved it, or both. I think that's what's so compelling, actually, is that so many people I have spoken to on camera and off are that absolutely used to love the show and absolutely hated it at the same time, or from one minute to the next. So there's something interesting about that. I would expect, right? One would think. Anyway, um, so yeah, I think that's it for me. That's a fairly good update, and so yeah, so make sure you hit subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. Probably drop a couple more podcasts over the next, couple months, updating people on the budget for the film, when the rough cut is going to be shared. I'm sorry, it'll probably be a fairly small group of people that I'll invite to watch the film, watch the first cut of the film, because I obviously have a responsibility to the people in the film, people who've given me their time, um, and then it'll be sent to film festivals, and we'll take it from there. So it's over. It's so over.